Yes, hello. Welcome back to whatever the fuck this is. Normally, you're used to seeing me when I'm doing working on car talkie videos in the carport. But currently it's fucking hot, and I've just gone down to pick up a Dremel because I need to do some grinding of little holes. So I'm currently still sitting in the car with the aircon on and talking, and then we'll go to do things. So a little bit of a quick update of what's going on. So in the last video I was talking about I wanted to be ready for an event in mid-March, which I didn't say what it was, but it's Adelaide Motorsport Festival. Unfortunately I'm not going to be driving that anymore, but I will be commentating that. So I reckon I'll try and do a video, like you know, behind the scenes of what it's like commentating at an event, especially an event like that, because that's just like, you know, I did it last year. It was the fucking most awesome thing I've ever done in terms of like commentating and stuff like that. So, and bringing drifting to the general population rather than the crowd at drift events who already know who I am and know what drifting is about and all that. So yeah, we won't be driving that, but my mate's Bucks party is in 2 weeks time and he wants to go drifting at X Park. So instead of doing all this, like making it all pretty and getting all the cage and stuff right, we're gonna get it moving and driving. Hopefully maybe try and get a tune, because the tune on it is a little bit, I don't know, it's got like no cold start and stuff. Anyway, all that fun stuff. So my mate Curdy hit me up. He goes, I've got a coilover you can pinch. The reason we have a Dremel is because, I'll show you in a minute, but I have to modify that to make it fit the Commodore. So yeah, just enjoying the aircon right now because it's like 37 today and I'm not built for the heat. So today, just going to try and get the front suspension back together and get the car back on the ground and ready to move and drive, and then hide from the heat. So let's do it. I've been sitting for too long with the seatbelt off. Alright, well, we're back in familiar surroundings. We've got the Dremel set up. I bought like one of them tungsten carbide bits, because obviously we're going to be hacking up metal. So obviously this is the coilover that died, and Kurt's been generous enough to let me pinch these ones. This one apparently is dead because he smacked the wall with it and it's busted. So this side's okay. But the issue is obviously being an S chassis coilover, they don't bolt straight to the knuckle of the Commodore. So this is the one that was out of the car, and you can see it's been hacked out to fit the knuckle of the Commodore. But of course nothing's ever easy, and this is smaller than that one, and even the spring doesn't fit on these perches. So we're gonna have to run odd size springs and I'm gonna have to use the Dremel to basically make these holes into these holes here. So I'll just use the Dremel, eat it out a little bit of time. We'll go over here and I'll grab a bolt. So that's the bolt that goes in through the knuckle, and I'll use this bolt as a guide. We'll do one side and then put the base of the coilover on the knuckle itself, and then use the knuckle as a guide, so we make sure that we're not fucking dremeling shit on the piss. So yeah, we'll get the Dremel, we'll start hacking this one out here until this bolt fits in, and then put it on the car, make everything else fit via the holes, so I don't have to make too much of a mess. Wish me luck, because I'm not a fabricator or a cutting person or any sort of mechanically minded. I just hack shit until it works, so yay. Alright, so I've got the hole at the top drilled out. It was just enough that the bolt can slip in and out. Alright, and so as you can see on the bottom one here, the bolt hole sits higher than the bolt hole in the coilover as well. So what we'll do is we'll now use the Dremel and then use the knuckle as a guide to bring this hole up and around, and hopefully not make too much of a mess, but no promises because it's me. So we've started making progress. To probably absolutely no one's surprise, I've gone and broken the carbide bit because I am a fucking ape. So that was like $29 for this little bit because I was trying to do it properly. Plus the, the $180 for the whatever for the Dremel. Now, do you know what this means? It means I'm sticking a drill bit in it and finishing it off with a fucking drill bit. Oh, I try and do things properly and it never fucking works. So let's just hack shit up. We have coilover in the top hat. And it's in. I've kind of just eyeballed the height similar to the broken strut there. And I can adjust it as I need. The issue I have at the moment is that the strut is fouling on the sway bar link. It's just because the sway bar isn't centered. I need to push it over a little bit, so I'll just loosen off the tabs, push it over. Obviously that side was connected, this side wasn't, so it was putting pressure on it when we put all the stuff together. So I need to move the sway bar over so we have clearance to turn, put the, bolt the sway bar link in, put the rack end on, and then I need to go to Upullit because obviously the brake line got disconnected via side cutters to take the wheel off when the towee pulled it off the track. So I need to go to Upullit and get a brake line and then just bolt a couple more things on, and then in theory this should be back on the ground. And so yeah, just gotta go to Upullit, get a brake line, bolt these last few things on, and then in theory this should be rolling and driving again, because there's nothing wrong with the drive line. It drives, just doesn't move. So once it's back on the ground, might give it an eyeball wheel alignment. Then I might actually get it aligned, because obviously the knuckles are just drilled, or the bases of the struts are just drilled into place. So there's no adjustment on the knuckle anymore for the camber on this. So I'll probably get it wheel aligned, get the camber sorted via the top hats and the adjustable LCAs that it has. Also, those LCAs have a tendency to unwind themselves, so I might get it wheel aligned and then maybe tack weld the lock nuts in, because I've like Loctited them and they still rattle loose. So maybe just do a little tack weld on the LCAs to get them to be where I want them to be and not move. I don't know if I'm going to have time to get it tuned before my mate's box party, but it should be okay. It ran and drive for the one lap I did. So other than getting it running rather than getting it rolling, really the only things I need to do is put my seats in. It's got that passenger seat, but it's small and high and stuff like that. So I'll put the 2 seats in from the party car. They can go into here. I do want to eventually get a harness bar across the back here. I also need side intrusions. So for all the SA and Victoria events this year, if you want to have passengers or go tandem, we need to have side intrusions. So that's next thing on the list. That was what I wanted to get done before AMF, and why I was like, I need to get it done now so I have time to get it to a fab shop. But obviously that's kind of here nor there for X-Park, because X-Park's a lot more casual when it comes to stuff like that. He runs under races, and because it's a very small track, that's why we could have people in the back, like one person per door and stuff like what you could do at Archie as well back in the day. So the cage stuff doesn't matter so much at the moment. The main thing is obviously we've got to get it running and rolling. Need a new battery because the battery's dead. So I just got to get it running, ready to drive, get some tyres sorted, And then not next weekend, because next weekend's Australia Day. The weekend after that is my mate's Bucks party, and we can go take it for a shakedown and then figure out how much I actually like driving with the LS and all that stuff. So yeah, for now I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to button those last few things up. I'll go to Upullit, get a brake line, and then basically once everything's back together, we get it on the ground, and I'll show you that when I get there. Alright, so I'm still plodding along. I don't know why, it's fucking hot. I'm getting over this. I've had a little bit of unfortunate news, I guess. I've got my driver's seat back into it, and I had to lever the front of it probably a good 10 mil to line it up with the bolt hole, which I'm probably going to assume means I've bent the floor back to the seat with that hit. Which, let's be honest, it's not surprising with the size of that crash. So, but the issue I've got at the moment is, if we look down here, stupid Commodore seat rails have the little Allen key bolts, and I don't have a little short one, so there's no room to get anything in there. So I've shoved a spanner in with it at the same time, and I should have another spanner somewhere here. There it is. And we'll just roll him around like that. Let's hope that this isn't fucking super tight. Oh no, we're good. We're good. I can probably just take the opener now. So I'll take this seat out and then flog it off because it's too small for me. So I assume someone could use this. I'll probably just give it to someone because it's not really anything spectacular. What is it? Zenzo Racing. I have no idea what the fuck that is. So this seat will come out. I've wheel aligned the front already. I've just given it a quick toe adjustment, so at least it's not towing in massively. And yeah, go to Upullit in the morning when it's not fucking 38 degrees, and grab a brake line, and then we'll bleed the brakes, put the wheels on, and it should be good to go back on the ground. Fingers crossed. If you're watching this, it means it worked, I guess. I don't know. And then yeah, we'll just tidy up the last few things, see if I can find somewhere to give it a quick tune before next weekend, but I'm not hopeful. And then take it to X Park and have a drive and figure out what we're going to do, whether we're going to put more effort into caging this shell or reshell it, or because like I personally love having like drift cars that have straight rego, because it just makes life heaps easier if you want to do a quick blocky just to give it a shakedown or something like that and make sure it's running good. Not a massive fan of not having cars that have clean rego. Obviously this car's from Victoria and all that stuff, and I'm not that guy when it comes to rego and stuff like that, so I might find another shell. We don't know yet. Originally I bought this car for the running gear to put into my wagon, but then, you know, things happen, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, I'm rambling, so let's get the seat out, and then I'll be back with you guys in the morning. So, alright, it's now Sunday. I went to Upullit this morning, got ourselves a brake line, and so on the way back, grab some more brake fluid and a one-man bleeder kit, which are terrible, but it's better than nothing. So let's smash this brake line on, and I guess the first place to start is to remove the old brake line, which that's going to be fun to undo with nothing connected to it, but we'll figure it out, we'll make it work. So yeah, I thought this was going to be a bit of a pain, and we had the old 10 mil didn't want a 10 mil trick and was slipping on it. So I've had to double vice grip it, but I'm kind of worried as well. This line may have a bit of a kink to it, so we'll have to pay close attention to that when we put it back together and see if it leaks. If it doesn't, happy days. But if it does, it means it's just going to be another trip to Upullit. Thankfully for me, Upullit is about 6 minutes down the road from my house, so yeah, hopefully we don't have to worry about that, and we'll put this brake line on and it won't spray everywhere. but it might also be a good idea just to grab some spares, some spare soft lines and hard lines, you know, just in case. The good thing about having a Commodore as a drift car is it's still really, really easy to find like parts and pieces like this. Yeah, unlike your Jap cars that are getting older, and just stuff like brake lines is becoming harder and harder and more expensive to find. But that brake line, this one here that I bought from Upullit, $10. Like, and it was like, walked in, first car, there it is, grab it, happy days. So there's definitely still some benefits to having the old Commodores as a drift car. But alright, let's get this brake line on anyway. Yep. Yeah, I called that. Alright, I guess we're going back to Upullit. Alright, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Upullit, it's like if you're on the East Coast or whatever, it's basically like pick apart. It's a self-serve auto dismantler. You come here, you pull your shit off, it's cheaper than a normal wrecker. Basically it. So I need to find a non-ABS Commodore and steal the front brake line, because obviously when my wheel was dangling it's like stretched all the brake line through here. So this one was not ABS, it was ABS, and they've cut the lines anyway. So this is the fun part, is just trying to find the part you need. So yeah, we'll grab a brake line and go back and get to it. Alright, so from breaking that brake line, half an hour later and $6 later, we've got a new one ready to go. So this is the joys of Commodores compared to Jap cars. It's just so easy to be able to get this little bullshit compared to like trying to find one from like, a Jap car. So let's smash it in. I'm fucking getting sick of not making any progress today. So we successfully have a brake line now. Topped up the fluid. I made a massive mess because as soon as I took the cap off and had the bleed valve open, started pissing fluid out of the fitting, and then I realised there was a copper washer sitting on the ground, which is the one that goes between the fitting and the caliper. So he pulled the line off, put that fitting in, did it back up, and happy days now. And I just, made a mess. But that's pretty normal for me. So, whoops, shit. Now we're at the point where we can start bleeding the brakes. I've got the old GoPro and 3-footed monster out. So what I'll do is I'm going to run the GoPro and the 3-footed monster. I'll find somewhere to mount it so I can see, like, and then point it down and figure it out anyway. Basically, I'm going to point the GoPro at that, and that way I can use the live feed feature on the GoPro app on my phone, and I can, so basically I can use the GoPro app on my phone and watch the live footage of the GoPro to see when it starts doing bubbles and stuff. So, because by myself, if I'm in the car pushing the brake pedal down, I can't see the caliper. So that's my plan anyway. Let's see if it works. Hey, there we go. All right, so as you can see now, the GoPro is showing, well, my phone is showing what the GoPro sees. So what we'll do is we'll pop him under here and try and get a good vantage point of the line and the bottle, so we can see if there's when the fluid starts pumping through and when the bubbles stop. So that's open right now. Alright, so we'll start pumping some fluid through. Just watching on my phone right now, waiting to see if this fluid starts pushing through. Alrighty, so we'll plug this back in, put this line back up over here, let it have it on that, that'll do. And then we'll make sure that's in. We'll crack that back open. We'll give it a few more pumps. See how it looks. I'm doing the right thing, and we're disposing of our brake fluid properly. So that brake caliper is now bled. I'm pretty sure the rest are okay, and for now I really just want to get it back on the ground and movable, and this is that point. So I'm going to put a wheel on it. I'm probably upside down right now. I'll have to edit that. Put the wheel on it, get it on the ground, see if I can get it started. I'll put the fan on it, see if I can get it started, and then that should be it. So that's enough of GoPro Ben. We'll go back to phone Ben in a minute. So I'll see you in a minute. All right, so I've hooked up a jumper pack. Car's out of gear. Nah, still not enough juice. I don't even think I have a spare battery around. I got that one there. I don't know how. One down there. I don't know how good it is, but I'm gonna pull this battery out, clean it up, and see if we can get this thing to start. All right, so I grabbed that other battery, and I wire-wheeled the terminals and ingested a lot of corrosion, and this battery's more fucked than the other one. Jumper pack doesn't even want a bar of it. It's just like, nah, having a beer. So I think that's me on the battery front. Yikes. So I'll probably hit up Mooey, grab a battery during the week, which means that this is going to be the end of this because the car's now on the ground. But obviously I can't start it without a battery. And yeah, I'll go get one from Mooey during the week, and then we'll get it fired up. I've got a thermo fan in. It's just kind of in place so I can secure that properly. But yeah, hold on. Oh, not that zoom. That zoom. There we go. So the Lexcen is back on the ground. The alignment actually, for an eyeball, isn't too bad. Obviously, I'm going to have to take it somewhere to make sure the LCAs are all even, and then adjust the camber through the tops to get it nice and even. The VS I was running about 5 degrees of negative camber and about 7 degrees of caster and about 4 mil toe out. For this, I'm going to go for probably something similar. The big difference between VNVP and VRVS in terms of the front end, obviously, is the VN has like the 3-bolt style strut, whereas the VS Commodore has the plate with the central mount. But the shock tower in a VS, the shock sits further back. So to get the same amount of caster with the same LCAs and everything, I'm going to have to run more camber, because obviously the strut's going to be trying to sit further forwards. So to pull the caster forwards, I'm going to have to run the wheel even further forwards than I did in the VS. So I probably might end up with either more camber and less caster. Well, basically, yeah, same camber with less caster, or the same caster with more camber. I was running at one point like 7.5 degrees of camber and like 9 degrees of caster in the VS, and it was too much. It was like binding really bad. So basically, I'm just going to try and pull as much caster into it by pulling camber out, because that's the way those arms work, the adjustments on the inside. So as you push the arm out to get more camber, it pulls it around and you get more caster at the same time. So basically, I'm going to just try and pull as much caster as I can into it without bind, and then whatever the camber is what the camber is. So we'll figure that one out when we get there. So yeah, I just got a couple more things to tidy up, but it is on the ground. It rolls, it moves. and we should be, oh yeah, and I got the seats in as well. So the seats are in, so car is ready to drive. It's ready for X Park at least, in terms of I can tandem take passengers at X Park in it. Obviously I still need to get a harness bar and side intrusions before I can drive it, or tandem or take passengers at any DSA or Victoria events. So that is high on the list because I do want to use this car for pro rides. I'm not competing again. We're definitely not competing in SA this year, as I'll be commentating, but yeah, maybe we'll figure something out. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. So, unfortunately, we're not going to see it run today. I have started it and run it, obviously, since the crash. So I know it still runs. That's a good thing. Now it's on the ground, unmovable. Basically, I'll go see Mui Monday or Tuesday, grab a battery for it, and then I just got to do a couple things. So like when we pulled the thermo fan out of it to chuck it in Blake's car, obviously it's just twisted back together. So I'll put some terminals in those, hook that up properly. I've got to mount that properly as well. I've got to service it again, because when I bought this car, it had fresh bearings put in it. I'd done basically just a dyno session. So at Keepery, I dropped the oil, but I couldn't get the filter off. So I need to get the filter off, change the oil, then basically go, hopefully get it tuned again. It should be fine for X Park, but if I want to keep driving it more and more, I definitely want to get it tuned again, because the fact that it doesn't even have like any sort of cold start in it, you got to sit there with your foot on the throttle for like 5 minutes until it warms up before it'll idle. Doesn't give me the greatest confidence in the rest of it. So if I can get it in for a tune before like 2 weeks from now, that would be awesome. But I don't think I'm going to be very hopeful with that. So yeah, car's now on the ground, it moves. I definitely need a wheel alignment. I can get a wheel alignment anytime, that's no issue. The tune was more of an issue of when I can get it done. Obviously, eventually we're going to paint it or reshell it or something. I don't know yet. I've got paint up there for it. I know it's pretty bent, and I don't know if I can be arsed, so we'll see how it goes. When I bought it off Dean, he did say the clutch is iffy in it. He goes, I don't know how long it'll last. So the original plan was to drive that until the clutch died and then pull the running gear out and put it into a new shell anyway. Like, it was originally going to go into the VP wagon. It might still go in the VP wagon, I don't know yet. But for now, I'm definitely rambling. Definitely not running, but that's not an issue, it's just a battery. So, thank you for watching and listening to me ramble and watching me fail at doing everything. It is Sunday, it'll be Sunday night when this goes up. It's Sunday afternoon right now. I'll quickly edit this together and then post it up. So it is currently Sunday. Next Friday is Australia Day, and that is the last day of the merch order. So if you want to grab a hat, grab a shirt, the pre-order ends on Friday. I'll be putting, well, I say Friday, I'll probably leave it open until Sunday because I'm not going to put the order in until Monday. So Monday I'll be placing the order. So if you want to grab a shirt or a hat, get in there, get it done before Friday, otherwise you might miss out, basically. That's how it works, right? I don't have the money behind me to go and spend 4 or 5 grand on buying stock and then selling it off. That's why I do the pre-orders. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to do any of this. I'd put all my money into that, and it's just not worthwhile. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, all that good stuff. And I will see you in a not very long time. I'll see you soon anyway. And this thing will be running. So hopefully like next weekend, I'll put another video up. We'll try and get consistent with it. But it's not going to happen. And I'm rambling again. Anyway, bye. Love yous all.